Now I'll entertain a motion open to the public.
So made.
Second.
All in
Second.
favor?
Aye.
So move. Welcome, public. You have 5 minutes or less. Welcome.
I would ask the public, for those people that would like to ask the question of the council, to go to your resource button, hit the resource button and press the hand key, and we can pick by those hand keys that we have.
Not hearing any.
I'll make a
Hello?
motion to close the public.
Second.
Hello?
Oh, hold on. I see a hand. I see it.
Your
I
hand
see a
up?
hand. Yep.
Okay, hi, I'm Patricia Poland, 29 Rollins Trail. My question is, I just want to get some clarification about the bags themselves. They're like the big waste management bags, or what kind of bag? And it's through the grant for recycling? How's that work?
We can buy materials for recycling and those types of things that helps us with collection and those types of things. These are just going to be general large, long bags, almost like a garage bag, because we know people have a tough time handling those things. So that's the area that we're looked at. We just want to make it easier for the public to be able to purchase those and not have to go to any of the large stores to get them if they want to. It's an option. That's all.
Right. Okay, so they would, the town would use the grant money, purchase these in bulk, and then we call up town council, we call town hall and purchase them through you guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right now we're thinking the cost is going to be like $3 for 5 bags. So
Okay.
you call up and tell us how many bags you want. You pay us the cash like you do our bulk stickers. My DPWs puts them in a bag, put your name on them. You go by the DPW shop, pick them up, and you're off to the races.
All right, great. Thank you for clarification.
You're welcome.
Heather Fury, Windsor Avenue. I want to know who authorized the use of the wellness center for a private.
John, you want that?
I didn't hear the
Mayor,
question.
I said I
to
want
my
to know who
knowledge,
authorized
the-
the use.
John Ursin, go ahead. You can respond to that.
yeah, Mayor, it's my understanding that the community center has not hosted any private functions, and we do have some confidentiality concerns about talking specifically about what services are provided individually at the community center. So if there's a question about something specific, but to my knowledge, no one has told me that there's been a private function at the community center yet.
Yeah, so you're telling me that no one was in the building that wasn't a wellness center employee or volunteer of some sort? Because right now, the building is supposed to be closed. It's a municipal building that's
Or
closed.
someone who is receiving services.
To a closed building?
The building can be open to people who are receiving services.
Services that are non-essential.
Well, that's, you're saying that. No one else is saying that.
Hello?
What?
Hello? Hello?
Ron, who's up?
Can you clarify what essential means?
I'm not going to go into a dictionary definition of essential, but people at the community center make decisions about what type of services are needed to people in various circumstances.
But a baby shower is not essential.
We're not going to talk about specific services that were given to individuals in need at the community center.
Okay, what is the cost to hold a private event there? Is there rental fees? Is there insurance that's needed?
We have not authorized private events at the community center. any community center activities were provided as a service through the community center.
Okay. I would like to hold a birthday party there. Am I allowed to hold a birthday party?
You can apply to the council because it's government property, but I can tell you with almost certainty that private functions would not be allowed during the pandemic time.
Such as a baby shower.
There was no baby shower. Mike, do you want to take this? Since you authorized me?
No, and because
Yeah, Mayor, Dawn, Councilwoman Roberts, I want to be careful about not talking about individual services that you provide to residents through the community center or in the community center. If someone else has a misperception about it, that frankly is their problem, and it's not going to interfere with the confidentiality that we're going to maintain with respect to services that we have provided to residents.
I agree, John. Thank you.
Where can we obtain a list for these services that are allowed to be provided?
The services that are allowed to be provided are the services that are determined to be needed by the people running the community center.
Okay.
And I would sincerely guess that during the pandemic, those list of services have probably changed and probably change on a daily basis.
True.
When you post something on a public page or you make something public, it no longer becomes confidential information. So
that isn't even close to true.
Hold on. There's a concern there, okay? The other part is, number one, Heather keeps getting muted, all right? That's part of a big problem that's going on. She's continually being muted, all right? She didn't get her 5 minutes, continually getting muted. We have stopped giving out marriage licenses, all right? If that's deemed non-essential, that a marriage license is not essential for a first responder who works for the sheriff's office, who wants to get married, because if he gets sick, his fiance cannot do anything to help him and make any medical decisions. If that's not deemed essential, that is non-essential, then any kind of event like the one held in the community center on Sunday is non-essential. It's a non-essential building. It was closed. Dawn is doing her best to sanitize things and keep people out of there, delivering things, getting them delivered. Why is it okay for one but not the other? And I think that that's where the questions are coming from.
So again, to repeat my advice, just because someone posted a picture of an event doesn't mean that people have waived confidentiality with respect to their particular situation or the services provided. That's an enormous leap that has no basis. And
Okay.
with respect to the marriage licenses, Valerie can answer this, but it's my understanding that there's a process in place to issue them either online or virtually.
Well, now
No, there's not. You cannot do that. It has to be done in person. I have started doing that again. The only thing I have asked is to people, if it's to please wait a couple of weeks. I have asked everyone who has called to please wait a couple of weeks. I did 2 marriage licenses last Thursday. One was for a K-1 visa that was going to expire in the end of May. Another one was for someone who was losing their insurance, who had actually, they should have lost their insurance the end of April, but it's been extended, but I did it for them as well. That's all I've asked, is for people to wait a couple weeks to see where we are. I live with 2 very compromised people. I also have a daughter who's staying with me right now who is working in a nursing home. I don't want to pass anything to anybody, and I don't want anyone to pass anything to me. So I've only asked to wait 2 weeks. That's it. I didn't say I wouldn't do them. I asked people to wait 2 weeks. And by the way, the advice that was given by the state was that if your building is closed, you are not doing marriage licenses. It was only because the registrars had reached out to the state and said, some agencies would like to do them if it's an emergency situation, and that's what's being done. And the person who you're speaking about has been married. They got married. They got their license and they got married.
I know they got married. My thing is that he was an emergency responder working for the sheriff's office. It was an emergency, and that was the stipulation by which I was informed that that was one of the things that it fell under. It needed to be an emergency. And for him, that was an emergency.
And what I had said was, if it's a K-1 visa situation or someone who's very sick, very ill, and they may die, I will do it. He had told me that he had been with people who had died. One of his coworkers died from from COVID-19. I could not put myself in that situation. I asked to please wait 2 weeks. That's all I asked. They had a wedding that was already scheduled that they had to cancel. So they weren't even ready to come in and see me for their regularly scheduled wedding. If they weren't ready to get married until the summer or whenever it was, May, June, then waiting 2 weeks should not have been that much of a hardship.
Right. So waiting, again, like I'm saying, is waiting until the end of this.
I didn't say waiting until the end of this. I said, I asked them to please wait for 2 weeks.
I'm not referring, hold on and let me finish my sentence. Waiting until the end of this, or waiting for 2 weeks for a marriage license, or until the executive orders are lifted, that's okay with the municipal building and you, but it's not okay in the community center. That's what I'm hearing. That's the point of what I'm hearing.
I don't think that's what you're hearing at all. What you're hearing is that services are being provided through the community center. You saw a picture and you would like somebody to tell you the details of the services provided. That is inappropriate.
I already know the services that were provided, because as soon as I found out about it, I picked up the phone and I called the mayor. And the mayor told me what the services were.
Okay. So if you don't like the way the community center is being run, or you want to put different rules or parameters in place.
That's not what I said, John. Don't put words in my mouth. I did not say that even a little bit. What I said is that there are executive orders closing municipal buildings. You had somebody who was in the building. It doesn't matter who it was. Throwing them a shower 10 minutes, 3 hours, 6 hours, it doesn't matter. So what you're saying to the community is that if you have another person in town, you have thousands of other unwed mothers in town who need services like this. They would love to receive gifts and be invited into the community center for a little party. So is Dawn going to do that for every single other unwed mom who needs a donation?
Let me jump in here, please. That's enough. I made a decision that I take full responsibility for. Not Dawn, not anybody else, knowing the intimate details of it, which I will not share because obviously of HEPA laws and all that kind of stuff. 3 people came to pick up some gifts that were dropped off from and did a virtual thank you. I don't know, I want to go into much detail, but it was not as it's depicted at all. And so I would do the same thing for anyone under them particular circumstances. And so people are painting this, oh, well, they went there and had a party. Not true. That's simply not true and very inaccurate. I will not go into the details of this person's individual problems because they're private and they're still probably under, they're not resolved yet. But we have been doing something that I think was the right thing to do. And so I take responsibility for it. I checked my authority to do that, and I'm within my authority to do that. And if I had to do it again under the same circumstances, I would. So let me be clear with that. This was not a party. A whole bunch of people didn't show up celebrating any of that. So stop that nonsense. Simply not true. I have some discretion to make decisions. I take responsibility for the decision. If people didn't like it, I'm sorry. But that's how I deal. That's how I deal with it on an individual basis. And because we do it under certain circumstances, I have to make a judgment call. And so if no one likes that judgment, I'm sorry. But I take full responsibility for that. Enough already with all that, you know. It falls, the buck stops here. I'm not afraid to make decisions. I will make decisions based on the knowledge I have. The more knowledge I have, the better I like it. But until then, within my authority, I'll make decisions. This decision was fully in my authority, according to all the executive orders and whatnot. Do I have perfect judgment? No. I'm a human being like everybody else. But I do the best I can with what I have, and I make a decision based on people and the people's needs at that moment. So I just want to be just enough already with this.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
I feel that it should have been done at the borough hall, at town hall, and not at a private location like that.
Am I on? Hello?
Yes.
Hello? Hi, I am Christopher Vincent, 33 Toby Hanna Trail. And just seeing the reaction to the mayor and this community center, whatever happened, it doesn't matter. There are people getting sick in our town. Now, you are letting residents into that community center and you are giving food away. My father is 63 years old. And now I don't know if this food we got has been touched by another resident. There should be no person in there except for a community center employee or volunteer. And honestly, I think it's disgusting how you mute people when they try to have a voice. Heather did not get her 5 minutes, and I think it's horrible. And I just want people to know I got on at 1:35, so if this gets muted, we'll know why. I think it's disgusting. That's my first thing. My second thing is I would like to know where the $1,300 went that was supposed to be and advertised for the community center that is now going to recreation.
Lorraine,
Yeah, would you like me to answer that?
please do.
Okay, we have a trust set up. It's called Celebration. Under that is a sub-account for the Resource Center. It's not $1,300, it's more than that, but that is in trust for the Resource Center.
And that could only be touched by the Resource Center, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. My third question is, I would like to know if they are going to end up doing a full clean for the community center, that we will be able to take resources or have resources without worrying about if this resident was affected or not.
Community center is cleaned and disinfected daily.
Okay, but I'm saying is, are we going to be safe accepting resources now that there were multiple residents in the community center?
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you for your time. Hello? Hello?
Go ahead.
Hello?
Who is this, name and address?
It's Mara Modes. I'm a resident of Hopatcong. As far as the community center, I have one comment, and that was that no one was wearing masks, and they were within 6 feet of each other. After passage of the bill list, can they be posted on the internet?
They are. They're posted as part of the resolutions. I post all of the resolutions after the meetings, and they can be found on the general code website
There is a link from the Hopatcong website to the general code website, but all of the resolutions are on there that were adopted at any given meeting. And the bill list resolution will have all of the full bill list behind it.
Why can't they be attached to the minutes of the meeting where people can find them?
It's just not, I just haven't, I don't put the full packet. I mean, I can do that if that's what people want, but I do list the resolutions separately so they can be found easier by number.
Okay. At the April 15th video meeting agenda, why were the restrictions on short-term rentals 2020-72 listed under resolutions?
John, you want to take that?
Yes, yes, Mayor. There was an executive order from the Office of Emergency Management that allowed municipalities to regulate short-term rentals. So in response to that, the borough passed a resolution authorizing some regulation of the short-term rentals. Subsequent to that, only recently, the Office of Emergency Management has come out and in some ways pulled back on that authorization to some degree, requiring that if people are in short-term rentals, that there had to be inquiries made about whether they were healthcare workers and about their alternate living arrangements and so forth, making it very difficult to enforce the regulations on short-term rentals. The decision was made to suggest to the council that we go back to pursuing the ordinance that had previously been introduced, which allows a completely pandemic agnostic approach to short-term rentals. It's an approach that was proposed 6 months ago. It really has no direct motivation from the pandemic and allows the municipality to license short-term rentals so that zoning and the other various departments can keep track of where there's short-term rentals, ensure that the short-term rentals have proper facilities to operate as short-term rentals, and to then follow up and enforce if there's any problems. So the ordinance that's on today is the general resolution to license short-term rentals, not anything pandemic specific.
Okay, so this was a temporary thing and it was as a resolution, not as an ordinance.
Correct.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
You just said correct.
Okay. Well, I couldn't hear him, or I wouldn't have said that.
For many, it's helping to stave off loneliness and maintain mental health. I want to bring back psychiatrist Dr. James Michelle and joining us now too is Dr.
For public?
How does technology help us? Because we know it doesn't replace a hug.
I don't hear any more public.
When you chat, it's not like that.
Motion to close the public, Mayor.
Oh, hold up, Michael. Mike, hold up. We got one that's got the hands up here. Hold on.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
iPhone?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
This is Corin Boostrom. I'm sorry I cannot share my address due to harassment by people on this page, so I don't feel safe disclosing that. Is that acceptable?
Sure.
Yes.
So I feel like I need to speak, and I'm not trying to beat a dead horse at this point, but so many inaccurate things have been said. I was one of the people at the Wellness Center on Sunday that everyone is attacking. As far as not wearing masks, if you look at the video that was also stolen off of my private page, you will see that we did enter with masks on. The people that were there in total were 4, myself, my daughter, and my other daughter, and Dawn Roberts, who also is my daughter's private caregiver at this time. So she has been with our family on a weekly basis, taking my daughter's vital signs. The attacks that have come from current council members, a woman that has run for council twice unsuccessfully, Only once. On town pages, blasted on personal pages, showing my daughter's private picture taken off my private wall. I don't care what you say about there being an assumption of things being made public when you put it on Facebook. It was a private page that you took and shared. How dare you, without having the facts? And that seems to be a trend that's happening in this town, is people will take a little bit of information, and with their political agenda, they skew that information and get a following of blind community members. And I feel sorry for this town if you are that weak that you can follow these people blindly without investigating the facts for yourself. There was not a party. There was not an event. We didn't go licking the cans of food, Christopher Vincent, so don't worry about it being contaminated. And I can't figure that part out either, because all you do is complain about the wellness center. So why would your father be there in the first place? Enough is enough. We are in a pandemic. People are dying. People are in crisis. And if this is how you're choosing to spend your time, shame on all of you. To the council, to Councilwoman Dawn Roberts, to Mayor Mike Francis, you have our sincere thanks and our respect and our appreciation for stepping up in a time of need that none of you have any idea about. You don't know the circumstances. You don't know what's going on. Jen Johnson,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
know you for years.
Yep.
And here you are as someone that was a mental health specialist for my family, knowingly taking this picture that was given to you off of a private page because you and I are not friends,
Corin,
sharing it.
I told you exactly.
She's on her 5 minutes.
I'm sorry. You're right. I'm sorry. You're right.
Taking a private picture of my daughter, who you know. Did you ask for the facts about it from me? Or did you take it and give it to Heather and have it spread as malicious lies?
Corin, I told you yesterday when you texted me exactly what happened. As soon as I found out, I was alerted, I found out, I picked up the phone, and I called the mayor. And I asked Mike, you have a problem. And his response to me was, not only should the event, and it's not about the event, Corin, it has nothing to do.
It wasn't an event, so I would appreciate you not
Hold
using
on.
that word.
It has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with your children or your child. It has nothing to do with that.
Then why is my daughter's picture out there?
Hold on. I did nothing. I picked up the phone and I called the mayor. That is what I did. That is the extent of what I did. Okay? What happened after I did that, I have no control over. Just like you have no control over your daughter going on Facebook and commenting on the Facebook page, the posts that I've seen. Just like nobody has control over anybody else. So what happened after that has nothing to do with me. Nothing at all. Okay? This issue that people are having, that I had and expressed to Mike, was not about the event. It was not about somebody going in and receiving donations. It was the fact that this is a municipally owned building that is under executive order to close by the governor, and our mayor, and who just took all responsibility, and council person opened the building for somebody who is her friend. So it looks now like the government is doing a personal favor for one of their friends on taxpayer money. That is the issue. That's the issue that I had, that I expressed to Mike. That is the issue that anybody who has spoken to me about it, that I have said. That is it. I don't care who it was. Because let me tell you, if it was me who opened that building, you guys would be ripping me from limb to limb. You would be bashing me. You would be calling for my resignation. So let's not pretend that this has anything to do with other than the fact that this should not have been done. That's all.
How did you get the picture of my daughter?
I am not at liberty. I didn't. What picture?
All right, let's
There is no picture. I picked up the phone and spoke to Mike.
Let's continue on.
Hi, Mike. I got
Hello?
another public coming on.
Hello? I didn't get
Hello?
to finish my last, hello, it's Mara Modes. I didn't get to finish my last question.
Okay.
So I was wondering if I could do that because it kind of sounded like things were going on in the background and I couldn't understand what was going on. At a previous meeting, Councilman Hopatcong asked about financial assistance for Councilwoman Dawn Roberts. I was wondering how much the financial assistance was and what was it for?
What?
What are you asking? The financial assistance, it wasn't for me. It was for residents. We had people that gave private monetary donations. I handed them over to Lorraine. And this way, if someone needs something, like for diabetic supplies or Glucerna, we can give them a gift card, which they sign out. I record the serial number, the date that they're signing it out. The amount is the same for everyone across the board that needs it. And that's all through donations that have come in since COVID.
Well, I don't know why that wasn't explained and it was done at the end of a meeting after new business and everything was done. And as far as now that we have new information about the Community Wellness Center, I would like to say that if you're all friends and you're her caregiver, you should have done it in her house.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Next up.
Hello. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
This is Lynn Ritchie, 110 Staten Trail, and my question is really for Ron. What are the other municipalities around us doing with their employees during this pandemic shutdown? Has everyone maintained status quo, or are they all pursuing this furlough program, or have they already started initiating layoffs?
Linda, it's all the above. Everybody's kind of doing a little bit of all of it. And it depends whether or not the municipality or township is under the criteria of civil service or not. That's the first thing you have to consider. Not all boroughs are in civil service, so they have a little bit more liberties to have layoff plans immediately than we do in civil service. The county has done a 50% on and off, keeping people on as things go. There's just a whole mixed bag of it right now. There's not one shoe that's fitting all throughout the county.
Okay. So you're anticipating if this is going to continue, we're going to have to implement this furlough program. I imagine now you've cut back hours, or due to the fact that we're civil employees or civil servants, we cannot cut hours or do anything according to the contracts.
No, not that at all. That's why I wrote the furlough process, and that's why I submitted it to civil service, and I was able to get the 30-day advertisement relieved through civil service that gave it to us that we could start this as soon as we want to.
Okay. All right. Thanks so much. I hope everyone stays well. And, you know, regarding this craziness that's going on in the town, I'm just going to state my personal opinion. And basically, had it have been Jennifer Johnson who had done any infraction of anything regarding anything dealing with the town of Hopatcong, she would have been ripped limb to limb. And I just think right now is the time that maybe it's a united council and everybody stops it with this nitpicking, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you, and we all start maybe having a unified council, and maybe there won't be so much dissension amongst your constituents. But that's just my opinion.
I'd like to know who told you we don't have a unified council, because it's no secret at all that I take that personal, by the way. I
take it personal that when I go to council
right.
meetings,
Well, I'll go to the wall for any of my
right?
council members under any circumstances, because I believe we have a good, diverse council. We might have differences of opinion, but I respect everybody's opinion, and I bring issues to the council and trust our council to make the right decision. So that's where we go with that. So if anybody attacks Ryan Smith, I will go to the wall, defend him, because I trust him. Same thing with Jennifer. We might have different opinion, but I respect her thoughts and pay a lot of attention to it also. So no, don't start any nonsense at all about a council that's not united. Our council is united, and if we have problems, we will discuss them problems and resolve them. And when we go public, we're going to be a united council. So I can assure you of that.
Mike, as I stated, it's my opinion from personal observations, and I won't talk about it anymore until this
Thank you.
is
Thank
over.
you for your opinion.
Thank you.
All right, Mike, we have another one coming up.
Come on.
You're on, Eric. Hello, Eric. All right. One more here, Mike. Let's see. Got a full screen here.
Yeah, Patty has her hand up.
Okay, where we at?
Probably your second page, Patty.
Patty Poland.
Yep, I just unmuted myself there.
There we go.
Patricia Poland, once again, 29 Rollins Trail. And Mr. Mayor, my only thing, listen, if you guys are all unified, I'm totally for it. I think everybody is. I think it's a great statement. I see that this is being recorded. You may want to go back and watch everyone else's faces when another council member speaks, including not just the people of the town, because let me tell you, if you guys could read lips and expressions, I hope that mine came through a couple of times. Second, that includes some of the town employees that with the eye rolling and the dirty look. So you're saying unified, and listen, if you're all for the right things, I am totally on board with that. But go back, watch this recording, and check out some of the faces that your council members are making that people in the audience have no choice but to see. You know, you guys aren't sitting up on your in the courtroom up there where we don't get to see your faces. So yeah, just take 5 seconds and go back and look at the eye rolling and the dirty looks. Okay, thank you.
Next up.
Hold on. Hello, you're on. Okay.
Who?
Hello. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Is it me?
Oh, there you go.
It's the first time I did this, so. Is it, can you see me? Can I see you?
Yes, you're on.
We can hear you. You're on.
There you go.
All right. Well, Patricia, I heard her, Mara, Jen, Dawn, and Christopher Ryan. All right. Christopher Ryan, I heard a lot about. However, you know, asked him to call me a couple times. He didn't do it. Having said that, Christopher is owed some money or something like that. That's not a big deal, Christopher. You're talking about $100. Someone's going to take care of you. I just think that everybody that's up there, I know that you guys don't know me. At least 50% of the people here don't know me or ever heard of me. However, yes, hello. You guys work so hard. I always have to say that. Okay, Jen did something. Hold on, let me make it. Oh, I'm sorry, not Jen. Dawn Roberts did something. I'm writing everything down, but I've been watching this for a couple days. And you guys know that I'm a business partner of Ken's. But, you know, I have to say, Dawn Roberts, I would never say she did anything wrong. All she did is try to help things, and she guided things. And I'd have to say that to Jen. And she guided things to have social distancing. And then I don't understand why so many people from Mara, Patricia, and you guys all bumped into me. I'm just saying it like it is. I usually don't follow the law. Everybody knows that, including John Ursin. So having said that, I'm not sure why you're giving everybody a hard time. We have so many things. My wife is there. She sits there in Valley Hospital in Ridgewood, New Jersey. She's saving people every day. And you guys are trying to find something at the senior centers that someone did wrong. Why don't you go out and do some real work? And I'm not disrespecting you in any way, but I could tell you, if you got extra time to be filming things, taking pictures, going through Facebook, I could get you positions. Volunteer, but you still get paid. At Valley Hospital, at Hackensack Medical Center, I can't do it up here, but I'm just telling you, I don't really understand why everybody got a problem with the council. Mind you, I don't know half the council, but I looked at every single thing they did. I've been looking at it for 17 years. And I'm just like, everybody in this town compared to Jefferson, Roxbury, which everybody knows I'm at, and I grew up in Jefferson. And, you know, I don't want to say anything about Mike or Ryan or Schindler. His first name is Rich. Nobody's been nothing but nice, but I always say some people say a lot of things. I know it's politics, but deep down inside, I don't talk about politics. They care about people. I just want to let you know that. I went to Ron one day. He cares. You want to know why? Because I had an issue with something, and he said, you know what? Don't worry about the issue. I'll take care of it myself. Nobody does that. I've been in a lot of towns, from Cliffside Park all the way up. And I truly believe the town that we live in has been most helpful for me. Why do you think I'm in Roxbury? I was successful here. Some businesses aren't. I mean, people help us on both sides. And I'm not sure why we always have this issue. You guys know I have 4 kids in the process here. All the way. And 2 of them graduated from college already. Right here from Hopatcong. They did great. So what I want to tell you is, and, you know, I don't know a whole bunch of kids. I don't know why this little youngster is on even the video. We should cut him off, Mike. But anyway, what you know, I have to say is that, you know, I love this town. Why can't we just work together, guys? Come on. Why can't we do that? I mean, I see all your faces. You know, this is the first time I've been on video, and I'm not afraid to speak. I've been around for a little while here, and I'm not sticking up for anybody. I'm not sticking up for John or anybody. I don't even know the administrator is Ron Tappan. All right, I got to keep on, like, thinking to myself, but come on, guys. You're all nice people. Nobody wants anybody to die. Dawn Roberts didn't do that to freaking infect the goddamn society. Give me a break. She was trying to help somebody. Don't go at her for that. Come on. She's nothing but a nice person. If you could do something that's nice and it kind of doesn't go with what you're feeling, then let it go. Come on. We got bigger things to handle. We got a lot of people that, and you don't even know what the second wave is. Half my family are doctors. So I'm not. I'm a doctor of hot dogs. So having said that, I just want to let you know that all of you guys are beautiful people.
Oh, wait, he's the owner of this.
Together.
5 minutes
I
is
think I
up.
left my 5 minutes because people are going to get mad at me that I'm over this. But come on. You don't really know these guys inside. Some of these guys on this screen I'm pointing to, or I'm sorry, not guys. Guys, girls, I'm not really good with language, but great people. I know that you have political problems and all that, but God damn it, all these guys are great people. People on both sides that don't like each other always help me. Come on, guys.
Thank you, Rohan. Your time's up.
Thank you, Mr. Shetty.
Thank you. Where we at, Ron?
Patty has her hand up. Can you unmute yourself, Patty?
I can, yes. Again, Patricia Poland, 29 Rollins. No, I appreciate the fact that I was brought into that. I was just merely stating my observations. Second, this youngster that is on the meeting, I personally know this youngster, and he is doing something here for Boy Scouts. If anyone is unaware of some of the things the Boy Scouts need to do, check out the programs, and you'd know that he's here for Boy Scouts. Second of all, he is a resident of our town, and he's allowed to be here. So
Thank you, Patty.
No problem.
I have to remind everybody that when you get done speaking, you generally don't do it again, but that's all right. Next up, Ron.
I don't see anybody.
Not everyone got their 5 minutes, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay, Mike.
All right. I'll entertain a motion to close to the public.
I'll make that motion, Mayor.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Back. Thank you, public. I hope everybody can appreciate this virtual Zoom thing. I think actually it's almost better than a regular meeting, but we're still getting used to it. And
I like
hopefully
that,
we can,
Mr. Steady.
well, maybe we can keep getting better at this. I think the world as we know it is changing, and maybe some of the changes are going to stick with us, just saying. So now we're